Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Andrea DTV. In today's video, I'm going to be describing my experience of having a gastro-emptying exam. So if your doctor said you need to get one of these exams and you want to know what to expect, stay tuned. This is just my personal experience of having a gastro-emptying exam. Everyone's experience with this kind of thing can differ, especially depending on where you get it done and everything. So this is just my personal experience. So I actually just had a gastro-emptying exam done recently. A doctor will order a gastro-emptying exam if you have problems with acid reflux, nausea, vomiting, digestive problems, for a whole host of reasons. Usually to do with digestive problems, because there's usually a suspicion of either the body not digesting food at the pace it should be, or the exact opposite, digesting food too quickly. So it is a 4-hour exam, and you basically need to set aside an entire day to do this. The test itself really is not difficult, it's not painful, it's not like as disgusting as like drinking barium or anything like that. The test itself is really quite easy, very tolerable. The only problem is that it's just very, very time consuming. I actually had to do mine twice, and I will explain in more detail why, because this is a really useful tip for you if you are going to have this exam. Please pay attention to this tip. So I actually went last week to get, at the time of filming this video, I have no idea when this is going to go up, but at the time of filming this video, I went for a gastro-emptying exam last week. And I went at like 8:30 in the morning, so I was done by 12:30 or whatever. Basically what the test is they will give you scrambled eggs that have very, very tiny, tolerable, safe amounts of radiation cooked in it, because that's the only way they can see on the machine. If you have the radiation inside of you, that's the only way they can see. They give you scrambled eggs with this radiation cooked in it. Don't worry, you're not going to get like Spider-Man powers from it or anything like that. Sorry to burst your bubble if you were hoping for that. But yeah, it's just very, very safe amounts of radiation. You don't taste it at all. It tastes like normal scrambled eggs. You can even put salt and pepper on it if you want, just to make it taste. They're basically like powdered eggs, so they're not the best. But you can put salt and pepper on it if you want, just to make it taste a little bit better. And then they also give you 2 pieces of toast. I was able to put jelly on mine if I wanted. I mean, again, this could vary depending on where you go. But I was able to put jelly on mine if I wanted. They recommend basically trying to eat all of the eggs. It's really not a lot. It's like a cupful of eggs. And they also recommend eating at least 1 slice of the toast. The toast does not have any radiation in it, by the way. Just the eggs have the radiation. So basically you're just supposed to eat all the food, and you should try to eat it in like 10 minutes. The only thing you have to do, by the way, preparation-wise for this, is that you just have to fast beforehand, which makes sense because they're trying to test how quickly you digest food, so don't eat or drink anything before the test. You try to eat the food within 10 minutes, eat all of the eggs and at least 1 piece of toast, which even someone my size, I was able to do that, so you should be fine. After you've eaten the food, you go to this machine where it's like 2 blocks, and you just stand in between them, and there's like a thing that's like scans your body or takes an x-ray or a picture, whatever it is, of your stomach, and it goes for 1 minute. And there's actually a timer you can see on the computer. You can see it counting down, so it kind of helps when you're standing there waiting for it to be over, and you just have to try your best to not move at all. And then after that, you basically have to wait another hour before you can take the next picture. So they'll send you back out into the waiting room. So definitely bring like a book, iPad, laptop, magazine, music player, some work. Like, just bring something, because you are going to be in the waiting room for like 4 hours. I guess the normal way this test is done is that you just take the picture, and then an hour later you come back in, you take the next picture, hour later you come back and take the next picture, and you're basically done. But what happened with me is that we actually went through the entire exam, and then they realized that none of the pictures were matching up, and I don't know if it's just the way that my the inside of my anatomy is different or something like that. I don't know why there was this mismatch, I guess. So basically, the guy who did the exam, he showed me on the computer what all the pictures looked like, and he said basically they couldn't tell from the pictures what was my stomach and what was my esophagus because it kept like changing in every picture. So at the end, what they had done was he actually took like a shield and he stood behind me when we took the picture so that it could take my entire body and then they could have a reference point of where everything was. So if they had just done that in the beginning, which I guess is not part of their standard procedure, but if they had done that in the beginning, then we wouldn't have had this problem. So they couldn't tell, you know, where everything was, and none of the pictures were like matching up exactly. So I guess it's not part of their standard procedure. Like basically for most people, they can just take the pictures and that's it. But the guy was saying maybe this should be part of their standard procedure. So basically I had to take the exam over again, which I just did today. And obviously it's not the kind of test you want to have to do over because it's so time consuming. It takes 4 hours. When you go to take your test, if they just take the pictures and then that's it, maybe ask them if they can take a picture of like your whole body with with this like shield kind of thing. Just ask if they have that or if they can do it for you, because it might save you a lot of time. I guess it's not part of the standard procedure for most people, but it probably should be. I don't know if this is something kind of new, so they're still trying to figure out, you know, how to do this. But I was like a rare case, I guess, where the normal procedure actually didn't give accurate results. So I ended up having to do the test again. So what we did this time around was, you know, I would take the normal 1-minute picture, and then after that, he would stand behind me with the shield, and we'd take another 1-minute picture or whatever with the shield, and you could see my entire body. So this way, they have a reference point of where everything is in my body, just in case the pictures end up looking different or whatever. So when you go to have your exam, just ask if they can do that for you, because if they don't, and then the pictures don't match up, they're going to probably ask you to do the test again, and this isn't a test you want to have to do again. Other than that, overall, the experience of taking the test, it's the easiest test I've ever done so far for this kind of thing. I've done a barium swallow, I've done a motility study, I've done an MRI, I've done so many of these kinds of tests for this, and this was by far the easiest and probably most pleasant one. The only problem with it is that it is so time consuming. So like I said, bring a friend with you so you can chat while you're waiting, bring a laptop, music player, book, iPad, whatever. Just bring something to keep yourself entertained, because it is going to take 4 hours. Like I said, the actual stuff you have to eat tastes like completely normal food. I didn't have any side effects after the test, like as far as like constipation or diarrhea or anything like that. I mean, that could vary depending on, you know, person to person. The amount of radiation that's in it is completely safe. You don't taste it in the food, so everything should pretty much be fine with that. If you have any other questions about this test that I didn't answer or address in this video, feel free to leave a comment below, and I will try my best to respond to you with, you know, the information I know about this test. If you like this video, be sure to like it, subscribe for more videos like this. I hope that it was helpful. Thanks so much for tuning in to Android UTV, and I'll see you in my next video.